Alrighty class, I am going to do 3.2, the geometry building blocks practice test with you. We did that during Google Meets today, but we only had a handful of people showing up, so I'm hoping that those of you who didn't show up, you are going to watch this video, and that's going to help you with your actual test. Okay, so this is all based on vocabulary words, what we went over last week before your long break. If you forgot about your vocabulary words or have not learned them, you want to make sure that you watch those videos again and make sure that you practice your 2 worksheets before you do this one and eventually your test, so that you can maximize or basically get a high score on your test. All right, so here is number 1. I'm not going to do every problem with you, but I'll try to go as, cover a good amount to help you remember what they are, and also encourage you to again watch the videos that I have uploaded for you, and hopefully that is going to enable you to do a good job. All right, so number one, we have the word collinear. Okay, so they want you to draw 3 collinear points. So if you go back to your vocabulary words, hopefully you remember that collinear means on the same line. So if they want you to draw 3 collinear points, that means that you want to draw a line and you want to put 3 points on the same line. Okay, I'm just going to use A, B, C. Remember, capital letters for points. You can use any letters that you want. Okay. Then we go to number 7. Draw an angle whose measure is 150 degrees. Now, we haven't gone over how an angle looks like, but I hope that you remember from, grade 6 basic geometry or from junior high that an angle looks like this. Okay, just like a greater than or less than symbol. Okay, so really what you have is you actually have a fixed point right here. And then you have a ray going in this direction. Okay, so remember a ray, there's a fixed point, and then there is another point that the arrow goes right through. And then you again draw another ray from the same end point, that fixed point A. You extend it in any directions, and you put your second point down. So here you have an angle which is made by ray A, B, and ray, I should have used a different letter. Ray AB and ray AC. So the angle is when we swap that, okay? This is called the initial side. And AC is called the terminal side. When we get into angles, we will do more of this, okay? But here we just want you to be able to sketch a quick angle, which is about 150 degrees, okay? So now you know how to draw an angle. You get an angle when you draw 2 rays that share a same fixed point, okay? Now, how do we incorporate the fact that the measure has to be 150 degrees? So we measure angles in degrees, and I hope that you remember from grade school or from junior high that when you have a circle, that is equal to 360 degrees. Okay? When you have half a circle, that is equal to 180 degrees. And 1/4 of a circle is 90 degrees. That's basically your right angle right here. Okay, so that's very important. And of course, knowing half of something always helps. Like for example, half of 90 is 45. And so if they ever want you to draw a 45-degree angle, all you need to do is draw an arrow going east, and then 45 is about right here. And again, you can use any letters of the alphabet if they don't specify. And you indicate that this is about 45 degrees. Okay, so we want to do the same thing, except we want 150 degrees. So the question is, how do we do that? Okay, so I know that if I have a straight line, that's 180 degrees. Okay, but I don't want 180 degrees. Okay, I just want 150. So I'm just going to put 2 lines intersect at 90 degree right here, and I know already that this is 180s, and I don't want that. I just want 150. Okay, I know that this is 90 degrees already because that is a right angle. I know that half of this is 45. Okay, and so if I add this two measurement, I get 135 degrees. So where is 150? It has to be between 135 and 180. Okay, so it has to be somewhere in here. Okay, so where is the angle? If I drew this in pink and I call this the fixed point, then my 150 degrees will probably be somewhere like this. Okay, so this angle in pink is about 150 degrees. Okay, I'm going to erase this again and just quickly redo this for you now that you have a better idea. Okay, so this is 180 degrees. If this is my fixed point, 150 is about right there. And you can just do that. All right, so that's an angle whose measure is 150. Not perfect, but very close. Number 8, I've already talked about how we draw an angle. The only thing you need to be careful is that B right there. That B, the number in the middle, not the number, but the letter in the middle has to be the fixed point, okay? So your fixed point is B, and you draw your BC, and you draw your BA, okay? Notice that there is an order here, okay? So you can either say, okay, angle A, B, C, or angle CBA, okay? And again, the symbol for angle is this. So if I want to say angle ABC, this is what I write down. If I want to say the measure of angle ABC is equal to, let's see, about 45 here. So if I want to say that this is 45 degrees, then I put a small m right there, and I put an equal sign, and I put 45 degrees. So notice there's a lot of notations. Now I haven't gone over this, but I hope that you remember this from geometry, okay? We will cover more of this in later worksheets. Okay, let's see. Let's go to number 9, okay? To name a plane by using 3 points, okay, what must be true? Must the 3 points be collinear, meaning they are on the same line, or non-collinear, okay, on 2 different lines, okay, or 3 different lines, okay? All right, so if you recall, this is how we draw a plane. And I said I'm going to name this plane that's say ABC. And so you can clearly see that these 3 points, A, B, C, on this plane are not collinear. Okay, if I draw a line through BA and a line through BC, I could clearly see that they are non-collinear. Not all 3 of them are on the same line. Or I could draw a line through AC, and you'll see that they are on at least 2 different lines, okay? So the answer is, to name a plane, the 3 points must be non-collinear, not on the same line. All right, I'm going to do number 6. Let me do number 5 first, okay? Draw array CD. Okay, we've talked about a lot of arrays because we've talked a lot about angles. So again, array, fixed point, that's the first letter, that's your other point, D, and the arrow goes right through D. Okay, remember the notation. If you don't want to write down array, you gotta put the bar and you gotta put that arrow down, okay? So that's done. Okay, number 6. Okay, so a lot of this worksheet is basically coaching you how to read the directions and follow them. So you want to read carefully, think about it, reflect, do what you need to do, and then go to the next one, okay? So here you have, they want you to draw segment RS, okay? So draw segment RS. RS, oops, I want to draw it, not write it. Okay, so I'm going to draw it. I hope everybody can see the red. Okay, RS. Okay, that's segment RS. Divide it into 3 equal parts. Okay, 3 equal parts. not one big and two small, or two big ones and small one. Okay, 3 equal parts. Okay, so suppose this is a candy bar and there are 3 people. You want to really give it to 3 people. Now you want everybody to be happy, so you want to make sure that you cut this into equal parts. Okay, so do your best job and try to cut it into equal parts. Okay, so that's what I have. So this is basically one section. This is another section, and this is the third section. So there are 3 sections. Okay, the last part says, if RS is 9 centimeters, how long are 2 sections? Okay, now a lot of people will say the answer is 3. So if you don't read carefully, you are going to put 3 centimeters down for the answer. But the answer is not 3, okay? Because this whole section or segment is 9, and you just divided it into 3 equal parts. So 9 divided by 3 means that this is 3 centimeters, this is 3 centimeters, and that is 3 centimeters. And the question actually wants you to find how long 2 sections are. So it's 3 plus 3, which is 6 centimeters. Okay, so this is why it's very important for you to pay attention to what you're doing, because you may know what you're doing, but if you don't read it properly, or you don't pay attention, then you are going to get the wrong answer for something which is fairly easy. And the bad thing is that you know how to do it. So if you are not focused, you get the wrong answer, and nobody wants to lose points that way. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think the only other thing that I need to do, okay, let me do this number 15 again. Okay, so I just want to again remind you that in this diagram there are a lot of things. There are a lot of points. You have point D, point F, point B, point A, point C, point E, point G. You have a lot of points. You also have a lot of segments. Okay, this is one segment. That's a segment DF, segment BC, segment CE. This is a BG, by the way. You also have a lot of rays, okay, because there is a point here and there's an arrow going that way, so that's a ray. There's a point here, there's an arrow going that way, that's also a ray. And there are more, okay, but I'm going to just stop there. I think you remember or know what I mean. And then of course, what else do we have? We have lines. So you have this line here, line C, E, and you also have line B, G. You have this point A, which is not on a segment, and it is not on any of the lines. Okay, so these are things that you have to pay attention, because they could ask you for any of these things. Okay, here we go. So name a ray, any ray which is in the diagram. Okay, so I am just going to start from B, and I'm going to go towards G. So that's my ray BG. Just remember, when you write it, you have to have the right notation. So if you just put BG down, it's not correct. Okay, BG right now is a number. Okay, so you don't want a number, you want a ray. So you have to put the bar and you have to put the arrow down. Next one, a line. Okay, so if you want a line, there are 2 lines here, and I'm going to use that one. Okay, so you want line CE, and that's just one option. There are 2 here. Okay, again, make sure you have the right notation. If you don't have the arrows on the top, you don't get the point. Okay, they want one segment. There are so many segments here. I'm just going to use BG again. Okay, segment BG, and because it's a segment, make sure you have the bar on the top, otherwise it is not a segment. 3 non-collinear points. Okay, non-collinear means they are not on the same line. Okay, so I'm going to use A, B, and C. Okay, so point A, point B, and point C are non-collinear. Notice they are separated by a comma. And the last one segment which is on the 2 lines. There's only one answer for this, and that is this segment DF. Okay, that's the only segment which is not on the line, which is that they drew for you. Okay, so the answer to this is DF, and again, don't forget that bar. All right, I think that you should be able to do everything else except this number here, when it says mark the following distances on the ruler, okay, and this is in inches, and then there is one which is in number 10 here. This one here is in centimeters, okay? So I am going to stop right here, and I'm going to show you how to read a ruler in both inches and centimeters in 2 different videos. So that way you can stop right here, pause this, and then go back and watch the other 2 videos, and then you can come back and finish this worksheet and submit it, okay? Because it's gonna take me a little while to explain how do we read a ruler, okay? All right, we'll see you in another video. Bye.